Today, and our reporter Angela Chung has joined me in the studio. Happy Christmas Eve, Angela.
Yes, Merry
I
Christmassy.
see we both have our sort of Christmas sweaters on.
We do.
Yes, you have a sparkly, very nice and tasteful one. I've got a red one,
Mhm.
one of just two red ones, and I kind of alternate every year for Christmas.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, if you're joining us on YouTube, I hope you enjoy our Christmas jumpers. All right, let's get started with our first story. Just earlier this week, we saw kind of a demonstration downtown because of these small business owners protesting the shortened business hours and how it has affected their business. Now, the government has come up, of course, with some supplementary measures, some support measures for these business owners. Tell us about that.
Yes, so just yesterday, the Ministry of SMEs and Startups announced a concrete plan to subsidize small and medium sized enterprises with 1 million won. Under this plan, owners of SMEs that are subject to newly imposed business hour restrictions will receive 1 million won immediately without having to submit any proof documents starting from 27th. For tourism and accommodation industries which are not subject to operating hour restrictions, the government will review if there has been a decrease in sales before giving out the subsidy to them. And what's notable in this disinfection subsidy, it will be paid separately in addition to loss compensation payment paid by the government to give prompt support to small business owners who might be greatly affected by the new rule, which strictly bans the operating hours to after 9 or 10 p.m.
Right. I think that prompt distribution or the provision of this support fund is the key word here. Now, who is eligible for this subsidy once again?
So, small business owners who have opened their businesses before December 15th can apply for this subsidy program. If you opened your business before this particular date and have been subject to business hour restrictions, your businesses will be automatically considered as having a sales loss.
Now, what if you have multiple businesses, though, or multiple shops?
So, if one owner has multiple businesses, up to 4 million won will be given out. So, a maximum of 4 businesses will be covered by this subsidy program. Those who receive this disinfection subsidy are eligible, once again, for disinfection goods subsidy and compensation loss payment as well. And for those who are eligible, you will get a text message at 9 a.m. on December 27th, the exact time when the application system opens, and you can apply for this program at the official website 소상공인방역지원금.kr. I tried to find it in English, but I couldn't. So
Okay.
it's 소상공인방역지원금.kr. The application process will require identification of the applicant, so you will need to use either your phone number or a credited certificate. For the first 2 days, the odd even alternate system will run, so you can apply on either day depending on the end digit of your business registration number. Then anyone can apply from December 29th.
All right, so let's hope that that prompt provision of the business subsidy goes out as quickly as well. Moving on to our next item, it's also business related. It's a major, major transaction and related to the Seoul City government. Tell us more about this.
So, Seoul City government has decided to buy a site currently owned by Korean Air, and it's located in Songhyun-dong, Jongno area in a tripartite deal with Korean Air and Korea Land and Housing Corporation (LH). The three parties are going to sign a contract where LH will pay for the land that Seoul City buys from Korean Air, and the Seoul City will provide in return a private site it owns in Samsung-dong to LH, where Seoul Medical Center was formerly located.
So it's interesting, a tripartite deal. How is the settlement going to be allocated among the three parties?
So an appraisal process finalized the value of site in Songhyun-dong at 558 million won. So LH should pay 85% of the total amount to Korean Air within 3 operating days after the contract is signed, and the rest 15% will be paid in June next year, concurrently with the transfer of registered ownership. For the site where Seoul Medical Center was located previously, the settlement allocation corresponding to the sales amount was done through an appraisal process. The area of the site the Seoul City provides to LH amounts to 35% of the entire site owned by Seoul City, City, and the zoning level of this site will remain as semi-residential. This means even if LH takes over the site from the city, it cannot develop the entire land for housing supply, and it should choose multi-use development instead, such as convention centers and offices, in accordance with the land's characteristics.
All right. So, like we said, quite a complicated deal. What is the Seoul government's sort of ultimate goal in kind of forming this deal?
So the Seoul City government explained this tripartite deal will help LH achieve under its land banking system. And for Korean Air, it will also be helpful because the company needs emergency fund. And as you know, ancient palaces such as Gyeongbok, Changdeok Palaces, Gwanghwamun Square, Korean History Museum, National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art are all located in the area adjacent to this new site. To add to the unique beauty of the area, Seoul City plans to create a culture and art hub where Seoul City citizens can have various cultural and artistic experiences in this area. And Lee County Donation Hall will be also built on the site.
Right. So this will be kind of a closure, I guess, to this long saga. Korean Air had wanted initially to build a hotel on the site, as I remember. Moving on to our third and last story, some more cultural news. And I think it will interest quite a lot of our listeners.
Yes, so did you know the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has designated the nation's cultural cities?
All cultural, I would think. But what's special about these cultural cities?
So the Ministry of Culture designated 6 cities, and they include Miryang, Gongju, Mokpo, Suwon, Yeongdeungpogu, and Iksan. So if designated as cultural cities, the selected regions will receive a maximum of 10 billion won for the next 5 years. And for 2022, each region will be given 1.5 billion won each.
So it's a good way for cities and regions to kind of boost their tourism, I guess, appeal as well. So how does the government actually kind of choose these cultural cities?
So the government designates cities based on performance outcome as a preliminary cultural region, written review on cultural city planning, on-site inspection, and presentation evaluation. And regions can apply as a preliminary cultural city first, and after evaluation, some of them failed and some of them passed, but the failed regions can also reapply for the next time.
All right. Angela, before we let you go, is there someone that you would like to say your thanks to or express your appreciation? It's kind of like our question, our first question.
Since this year was special for me and I'm newly wedded, like
Yes.
I'm married, so I want to thank my husband
Aw.
for always taking care of me.
All right. Very sweet message. Thank you very much. And happy Christmas. Okay. We'll see you on Monday.
See you on Monday.